Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ancient of North recap show for Hawkeye, Season 1, Episode 4. How is everyone doing tonight?
I'm good.
Fantastic, Ben. Thank you for asking. No one ever asks you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
That's
Good. I think this is going to be a fun episode.
Wow.
Talking about what we were doing before we went live. So, it's all good. 50, how are you doing, my man?
Still alive.
Congratulations.
All you can do, man.
I made it.
It's encouragement. That's support.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here.
Shall we talk about the episode?
I don't know.
Maybe.
So I really liked this episode.
Yeah, what did anyone think about this episode? Dave, you started? What did you think?
I really liked this because it was a good cool down to last week, which was all action all the time, baby. And like we still got a little bit of that at the end, but it really showed the thing that this show does, and I think what all the MCU shows have done so far is the best thing that they can do is just put two good actors in a room and say, hey, you guys, just go do some acting, okay? Just go do some acting right now. And this episode delivered in that.
Kiwi, what did you think of the episode?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. They did a lot more character building, which was really lovely. Some really, really good moments in it. I'm just worried that we've got 2 episodes to wrap a whole lot of stuff up. That's my only problem with this episode, is that we didn't get a lot out of it. Except for the end.
See,
coming.
Before you go to 50, I would actually, and I said we weren't going to fight, but I would actually disagree. I think like a lot of things got wrapped up in this episode. Like we talked about last week, not wrapped up, but more like folded in together so they can be streamlined, where everything essentially now is the one plot, where we have Jacques being brought into the tracksuit mafia, even though I think that's a red herring.
It's totally a red herring.
Totally.
Come
It's
on,
like,
he's
come
a
on.
mustache twirling. You might as well have a monocle.
I can't wait for him.
What are we doing, Disney?
I can't wait for him to turn out to be like, I just really want to be a good stepdad, and then Vera Farmiga kill him.
That would make me so happy if he's got all these like parenting books and like next to his nightstand and stuff like that. Like he just really wants to like build bonds with her, and the whole time she just hates him.
Yeah,
and she's the asshole.
But like we were talking about on our last episode recap, we were like, episode 5, Kate's gonna figure out that, oh my god, you were Ronan, and they're gonna break up and be upset. They got that out of the way now, so they
didn't break up with him because she was upset about that. She
exactly
totally understood.
And that was
great. This false like lower her down onto the Christmas lights thing.
Man, he had some faith in those Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But like,
those
I think
cats bring those things down. A whole last person isn't going to.
Yeah.
50, what did you think of the episode?
Oh, I can talk now? Okay, so some of you may remember that last week, while I loved last week's episode, my one complaint about it was that it was too short. This episode was somehow shorter, but I really, really liked the pacing of it. It felt like I got everything I needed out of this episode in like half an hour. I didn't need the final fight sequence at the end, but I'm happy I got it. So I think this episode was definitely better paced than the last episode, which I still prefer over this one.
What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I really liked it. Like everyone, I think I preferred last week's a little more.
Oh, I'm the other way. I like this one way better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always one.
Yeah, you're the one this week.
All right, well, now don't shame me.
Sorry.
Hey, I love any scene with Clint and Kate talking. I also want to call out a scene known as the beginning of the episode where you have Kate, Clint, um, Jack, and I forget the mom's
And
name.
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah,
Yeah, the mother.
There,
the mother.
I've realized.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
No, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was gonna make a bad joke about how I realized that on this recap show, all the moms we just call their actors' names because whenever Clint talks to Laura, we're like, oh yeah, and he talks to Linda Cardellini. No one ever says his wife's name.
Okay, to be fair about Clint's wife, I never remember hearing her name until this episode. Never, not once.
No, to be fair, that's I just
She
think
gets her name her name's on the screen and her name gets read out in this episode.
yeah, but I just sorry.
Because Kate reads out the list in the home
Right.
out to Clint, and it's got the kid. Well, she says it aloud, and then she tells him that the kids are on there and stuff like that. And then it's also he texts her about the Tracksuit Mafia. Well, sorry, Sloan Limited, and it's to Laura. I find it sad that he doesn't have a cute little pet name for her. I feel like he would. I feel like he's that softy on the inside, but he just doesn't tell anyone.
No, because like you go back to
Maybe
Age of
that's
Ultron,
a burner phone or something.
maybe, but like also you go back to Age of Ultron and there's the scene where he's on the phone with who we will eventually find out is his wife, and like I think Tony is like, hey, who you talking to? He's like, oh, that's my handler, and he very much treats her like his boss. So you don't have a pet name for your boss.
Oh, he says his girlfriend in Age of Ultron.
Does he? I thought he said
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
No. Tony calls her his girlfriend. Clint says, I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
okay.
and then later he's talking to someone on the phone. He's like, who are you talking to? Girlfriend.
We don't need to relitigate Age of Ultron.
I like that movie.
So do I.
Me too.
Oh no.
There's always one.
There's always one,
It
Kiwi.
always comes back.
You dare use my own spells against
I know,
me?
right? It's all right. It's typical.
Okay,
But sorry, Ben, you were talking about that scene between the four of them. What did you like about that?
I didn't love any awkward scene with some people having an awkward conversation. I don't know, Vivian, I know you watch Smallville. I don't know if anyone here
Right here.
watched Smallville. There was an episode in the 9th season when Clark and Lois went to a bed and breakfast, and they ran into Chloe and Oliver.
Yeah.
The morning after breakfast, when Oliver and Clark are having that awkward talk, is one of my favorite scenes in that season.
Yeah. You're so right,
Yeah.
Ben. You're so right. I haven't thought about that scene in so long. But
have you done it?
So, how you been? How was last night?
but I love that scene, and I love even more how it begun right before the Hawkeye title splash, where we get the continuation from last episode, where Jacques got the sword to Clint, and then Vera comes in. It's like, why is there an Avenger in my house? It's like, and then Jacques like, oh my God, you're Archer.
He just fangirls over him. It's so funny. He can't be the bad guy. It's too obvious.
And then there's a great moment at the dinner or where they're having tea. It's like, you're helping, where Vera's like, you're helping Kate with a case, and Jack's just like, oh, that's wonderful. That's so great.
He's so excited he's too excited for her. Come on. I think he just wants to be her friend.
He really
The more we see of him, the more I think it is just a red herring.
Yeah.
But also in that same boat, he's definitely gotta be hiding something. That's what I'm getting.
He's the big bad.
Yeah, me neither. There's something he's not telling us, but I definitely do not think he's the bad guy. If it's
what any hiding something, what could it be? He could be.
He's a Skrull.
what if he's actually Bullseye?
Oh my!
Jesus, no. Oh God. Anyway.
But
her name's Eleanor, by the way. I just looked it up. Her name is.
Yeah, she says
Eleanor.
that on the phone. She says, "Hey, it's Eleanor. What about the thing that the
Yeah, I
thing
know,
with
but
the
he
thing?"
keeps calling her Vera, so go
Which
treat.
I
Oh.
love. I love that scene where Vera's on the phone.
Because we finally
Oh.
get to see what her name is.
Yeah, it's Vera Farmiga. I know. Anyway, but I this is not confirmed, but I think it's when you put things into like kind of situationally now, you can guess that like she was calling Elaine from Seinfeld to get Yelena to
Madam
be
Hydra.
and yeah, Madam Hydra or whatever.
He hasn't been announced as it, but we all know that.
Well, she was only Madam Hydra for like one run. Like
Yeah.
she's got like a million other things.
Well,
Contessa, there we go. Okay,
Valentina.
No,
Valentina.
Valentina.
Valentina Contessa, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Elaine from Seinfeld.
The long name. Julia
Isn't
Louis Dreyfus.
There we go.
isn't also possible? Could Mira Farmiga be talking to Kingpin?
Possible.
I think yeah, that was my initial thought because even though we talked about it last week, I had forgotten in the 6 days in between that Yelena was going to show up. So then I was like, oh, we're seeding out Kingpin more. That's great. And then, but then when she shows up in the mask and stuff, it's like, oh, that's connection to the Black Widow scene.
Black Widow
Yeah,
tech
you'd
immediately.
think
it's
that
like,
if-
oh, it's
yeah.
Yelena.
You'd think if she was talking to Kingpin, he would have sent out someone else.
There was a moment
What,
to go back to
bullseye? Are we doing the bullseye thing?
well, no, legit. There was a moment where Hawkeye says, "Yeah, I'm fighting Maya." I was like, "Motherfucker, is Bullseye out there?"
No, I immediately was like, it's Yelena. Yelena's there.
Well,
I
as
was
soon
like,
as soon as you see the female
no,
body,
no, I knew that as soon as he said, "No, I'm fighting Maya." I was like, "It's Yelena. It's Yelena. It's the female form. He can't tell the difference. It's fine."
Also, I did just to shoot all the 50 down. I was gonna not say this on air, but so that we don't relitigate the Bullseye stuff. Bullseye did end up at the end of that season hating Kingpin. So if that's canon, he's not working for Kingpin anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different.
Shut up.
It's a different canonical.
It was really cool seeing the LARPers again. I liked seeing
They're
them
so
coming back.
earnest. They're so earnest.
I love how they
Also,
went
but
that.
wait. So the fact that do you think Jack's also going to notice that his sword's gone missing again, the one that he purposely stole?
And purposely used against an intruder in his house?
Yeah. Do you
I think
he's going to
I'm
notice?
surprised he didn't notice it already.
The fact that Clint gets it out in the elevator, I'm like, do you think this isn't a place that they've got cameras in the elevators? Really?
Well,
Clint?
like
Come on.
Here's the thing though, like if you're Clint and you're like, I was just in that apartment and I stole it, and it's not like it was on the wall, they might not notice. He used it against me. It's like once I'm gone, they know it. I've taken. They know who's taken it because I was the guy who was here, and it's me. I am an Avenger. Okay,
He's just owning it. He's like, I stole from you. Just
yeah,
get over
I
it.
stole from you. What are you gonna do? What do you? I fought Thanos.
Bring it.
Well, okay, there's two things I want to talk about. Scene when Hawkeye is in a Mac scene, hi Taco.
Okay.
No,
So
Okay,
David
rewind.
He was wrong. I was right.
that's
And-
not what.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
that's
how I
it.
remember
And
it.
still no sign of Bullseye.
But
Okay.
but Taco did call for last episode. He was like, I want to see boomerang arrows.
Yeah.
And they get a long conversation about boomerang
about
arrows.
why he doesn't want to use them. Also, though, Eleanor must be evil for her to bring up Natasha to Clint. Like she had to know exactly.
That was that was a low blow.
That was a low blow, and that's why I was like, she's obviously evil. You don't
Yeah.
bring that stuff up to someone.
I think
you're not trying to hurt them.
I think you're supposed to read that as, oh well, this is a mom trying her best to protect her kid, but like obviously she's a bad guy. We've all seen movies before.
It's that conversation that women have with each other where they're saying awful things to each other, and men are like, no, they're just having a normal conversation. We know what we mean. It's the undertone.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not what you say; it's how you say it.
It's how she
Yeah.
leans
It's out of the
forward
game, it's
in
how
the
you play
chair
it.
when she says it.
Yeah.
She's a little queen of the show. That's who she is. She's
Yeah.
always dumb. She's a little queen. There's two things I wanted to talk about. The one thing that Hawkeye is in the back seat of a car and telling that one guy, that thing was incredible. What did you
Kazi.
guys think of that
And he's
scene?
just gotten every weapon that he has out of his car. It's brilliant.
Looking for this?
Yeah.
I loved that because so often we see scenes like that where it's like the gangster intimidating the cop, saying,
Yeah.
drop your investigation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But he's doing it. And I immediately thought about the Spider-Man Homecoming scene with Michael Keaton and Peter.
Me too.
I immediately was like, oh my God, this is as intense as that. But it was cool.
reverse.
Yeah, and it was cool that the hero was the one who was doing the intimidating, because Kazi, he also seems like, yeah, I am on your side. You're right. We like Maya should not be doing this. But also, like, he's
I
now,
hate that you're right because I don't like you.
yeah.
Mm.
It's like,
Me-
but
me-
this scene did start a trend in this episode, which I called out immediately, which is when Hawkeye gets out of the car, Kazi's like, can I have my gun back?
They just-
He's like, yeah, just 1 sec. And he just throws it. And then later, Yelena drops her gun down a big shaft. And both times I said, you got to go get those. They can't just be guns in the wild.
You think people aren't going to notice wild guns running around?
Just a wild gun appears. And like
a
maybe that's
wild
just-
gun appear.
Maybe that's just like
Throw
my
a Pokeball
Canadian,
at it. Well,
Exactly.
What are we doing?
maybe that's just like my Canadianness talking, where we don't have guns everywhere. But like I was like, no, you got to go
I
get
don't-
those.
I don't know what that's like either. I get it.
Exactly, Kiwi. We get it. We got
I
smart.
And then I
I'm-
don't know.
I'm
Ben,
talking-
Ben is our
hey,
resident.
me, the
I'm
only
talking as
American
the-
here.
I'm talking as the Israeli guy, the guy who actually needed to walk around with a weapon for obvious reasons. You do not lose the weapon. You gotta go find it immediately. Because someone else is gonna pick that up.
I hope that the next, like, we didn't see it because the camera cut, but Clint threw it and then he ran. It was like, gotta go get that.
Okay, make my point. I gotta go get the gun, so no one will find it.
And the other thing I want to talk about real quick is when they're fighting on the building and Kate is holding on to the building and it's
Oh no! And it just took
mirroring
me back. I had a
to
mini panic
Endgame.
attack.
That was beautiful. It was like
I didn't like it.
really, how come?
It made me upset. It just took me back to that moment, and all I could hear in my head was, "It's okay. You can let me go." And I'm like, "No, I don't need to remember that."
It is crazy that he's been in that situation now twice, but he's done the opposite thing both times. And it's like, but they're both mattered so much. It's like, oh fuck. And that
So
brought me
you
back.
So you would have preferred it if he would have just leaned forward and whispered in her ear, "Long live the king."
Oh,
Man, hey, we don't have time to get into my whole Scar was right situation here,
oh,
but
no.
Oh,
Let's not
okay.
do that.
You
No,
and I are
that's
going to
fine.
have words after
It's
this.
the green room conversation. But yeah,
exactly.
it's the fact that like the problem is they have this manufactured tension where he tells her to leave and she says no, and then he lowers her down and then she just comes back and I'm like, we didn't.
Well-
What would you think she was going to do, man?
Yeah, no, but
Was
this
gonna listen to
is
you?
the scene because she just comes back and then Yelena just goes, "Oh, okay, you fought me once. I'm gonna leave now." I'm like, that's not what Black Widows do. They just go, "Ooh, okay."
No, she was
bye,
like, no, she saw Kate.
bye."
She saw Kate and was like, hey, Kate, we're gonna be girlfriends soon. Goodbye.
She just shakes her head at her and then like dips, and I'm like, "So you don't care about killing Clint no more?" I don't
But it's like I can't
understand
kill
it.
Kate in front. Like I don't know how much Yelena knows about Clint's life. It's like, oh, I can't kill Clint in front of his daughter. Because like I would assume if I saw this that it was take your kid to work day.
Just starting a family business.
I know another part I like is when they first get to the building, Clint is up there figuring everything out. Meanwhile, Kate is walking across the street, opening up the door for the man, helping him out. I thought
I
that
know
was
it's
really
so cute.
Can I Can I tell you a secret? I have an
Yeah.
Avenger in my ear. He's talking to me right now.
Yeah, she's
It's
so
like, okay, I think I can take that now. No thanks, I
I
got
like
it.
how
I'm
he's
good.
just like, "You okay, crazy?
Okay.
That's fine. Don't touch my groceries.
To be
Don't
fair,
give me COVID. Leave me alone."
Like well, remember, keep it in the universe of Agents of the North. By this time in the canon, they're sprinkling their salads with COVID. All right, let's keep that joke going. That's for longtime fans. But
That's one for you guys who've been longtime fans of the chat.
but also like that if a woman with a bow and arrow walks up to me and is like, "Can I help you with your groceries?" I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to get involved
Steinfeld's
with.
adorable. I would let her hold my groceries.
I don't know,
all day.
man.
All
You're
day.
much more trusting than I. If
I
she
come
is
from
like
New Zealand. Like,
visibly armed, I'm like, I don't know, man. What are you
He's
doing?
Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
Who's
We're-
more trusting than Canadian?
Wow, no, we are more forgiving. We don't trust anybody.
we trust people.
No,
We're done like that.
We don't
Is it-
trust anybody.
I'm
Varying degrees.
Me, the only American here.
This is our
Kinda
most
weird, but yeah.
now, like just to keep it on the rooftop fight for a little bit. I love when there is multiple parties, like more
Four-way
than
fight.
three-way
Four-way
fights
fight.
are always the best. That
Three-way,
moment where
four-way
Maya like holds Clint and is expecting Yelena to punch Clint, and she punches her instead.
No, it's great.
Just a
It's like,
great moment.
Get off, he's mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was so great, and I loved seeing that. I thought it was strange that Florence Pugh didn't get a line to be like, "I'll see you around, Clint," or something. That's
Ew.
hello. I thought it was interesting that she didn't get to say anything to Clint in that moment up there. And I wonder, does Clint know the relationship between Yelena and Natasha?
Well, they
Nope.
had to take that whole trip to Vormir. There is every chance they could have had a conversation on their trip to Vormir. We don't know that for a fact, but it doesn't completely discount the fact. What do you think they did? Sit in silence the whole way to Vormir? Come on.
I don't think
You could have
that,
been like,
but
"Hey, in the meantime, I did this."
Okay, now.
But here's the thing. He says right at the end, someone's hiring a Black Widow assassin to kill me. When he says that, it doesn't imply that he knows why that specific one went after him, because he did see her face. So like he clearly does not know who she is,
true.
and there's all
Yeah.
kinds of Black Widow assassins still going on. So
Which
he
Still
just
don't
thought
understand why
someone
Yelena's
wanted
trying
him
to
out of the
look.
picture. I don't think he's got any inclination that it's related to Natasha.
Which are there Black Widow assassins still going on? Because at the end of Black Widow, spoilers,
For all he knows,
like I feel like it to Kiwi's point, like they were both friends and also had that long trip to Vormir. She might have been like, "Hey, you remember when I was on the run from the government and like you went out in their house arrest? Crazy thing I did. I like dealt with all my trauma. Like I completed my character arc.
Fully faced it.
Yeah.
so
I had
to your
therapy.
point,
I just went through intense therapy. It was great.
Yeah.
So to your point, if they did have some sort of conversation about Vormir, about that specifically, why does he still think that the Black Widow assassins are still a thing?
I don't know.
I'm guessing she didn't tell him that she broke down the organization.
Well, no, like I guess now that I'm thinking about it, and I guess I hadn't said it out loud. I guess this is more like all those. She was like, yeah, and then he was probably like, so what did you do with all the Black Widows? She's like, oh, I just let him go. I didn't like turn him into any government. It's like,
well, it looked like they were going to band together anyway.
Yeah,
That's
so
what the feeling I got at the end of Black Widow was that they were going to make their little clan and do, I don't know, whatever they felt like.
So Hawkeye's like, wait a minute. So now they're just freelancing. Is that what's happening? Black Widows are freelancers?
Yeah. Oh, that's even scarier.
That's so scary.
Yeah. Mercenaries, more like it.
Yeah. But also, like we've talked a lot about the fights and stuff. How great was Kate bringing Christmas cheer to Hawkeye? Like that was so good.
It was really good.
And they dress up Pizza Dog, and they just get hammered on margaritas, I assume.
I love seeing those lumping people in the apartment. and they're having a good time talking about outfits, talking about costumes.
Mhm.
And they're gonna make the costumes for the finale episode.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And okay, this is I teased in the green room that I had like a crazy thing that happened when I was watching the
I'm
episode.
so excited to hear this.
And it was about this. So I was talking with our mutual friend Taco, the fifth arrow in this quiver of podcasters, about just like comic shit, like we often do, just about nothing.
Oh, I know what
And
you're talking about.
and we were no, we just talked about that's the only thing we talk about. And
Well,
then
he does like to talk.
he does like to
He's got a whole
talk, and
show
I
about
talk
it.
back.
And he's there talking. Let's talk about.
But
them.
we were talking about like villains and how they're we need to see like more female villains and whatnot. And I was like, you know who I really like? I love Bombshell. She's fantastic. She's great. I love Wendy. She's a great Bombshell. And this was at like 10:30 this morning. I didn't watch the episode until like much later, like 2 hours ago. But literally today, me and Taco were having a conversation, and then about the character Bombshell.
It is you, Taco.
And then the woman comes in with her bag, which I love. It's like, you didn't bring your own bag? This is my bag from home.
Yeah.
My wife made this.
Yeah.
It says Bombshell on it.
Bombshell.
And I was like,
Bombshell on it.
oh my God, what are the fucking odds that would happen? That was but also like getting to see like Grease and all those people like in the apartment was really cool for like a fan of the comics, where like Grease is like his or Grills, I forget right now how it's said, is like his neighbor in the tenement building that he owns in the actual Hawkeye comic. So getting to see them all like palling around the apartment building, I was like, that's great. That's some good shit right there. I like that. But also just like Kate showing up to the LARPers earlier and being like, wow, you guys are really intense. And could you help me with just some light evidence tampering? Like,
And they're like, yeah, of course, sure. Yeah. We do that all the time, the police.
Why not?
We help an Avenger, of course we are. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, why not?
Now, I've talked for long enough. What else did you guys like about this episode?
I want to bring up the watch. The watch is
yeah.
somehow connected to everything. Could it be connected to Chris' life? And if that is true, what is the meaning of that? Any guesses?
I just think like she was a SHIELD agent back in the day, and her and Hawkeye fell in love, and they're like, that's why they're all like off the books and stuff, and she retired for whatever reason. But that's why the watch is so important and why she knows about it, because the moment Linda Cardellini busts out talking Russian on the phone to Clint,
I'm sure that was German.
So cool.
or German, I don't know. I speak
German.
1.5 languages. Okay.
Okay.
So, well, Canada, we got to learn a little French here. But when she starts talking whatever language that was, I'm like, wait a minute, was Linda Cardellini? Was she a spy? Was she doing shit? I just thought like she was a supportive wife in the last episode.
She's a great wife. Their relationship is just
best.
so incredible.
For a wife to allow her husband to do the shit he's doing on this show specifically, it's like the guy hit the jackpot of wives.
Not only that, but she is like, I saw this on Twitter, and I wish I could shout out who it was. Said that she is kind of his guy in the chair now, because he's texting her being like, hey, look into this.
Code over the phone to him.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and clearly the kids are like, yeah, it's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know.
Oh, they always talk German to each other. Bleh.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Talk German to me. I'm so sorry. I said that, and then I noticed you were drinking a water. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's
funny.
Instead of her being ex-SHIELD, could she be ex-Hydra?
That would be cool.
Why do you always have to ask the good questions, Ben? Like, why are you doing
Because
this?
when I-
Thinker.
because
He's a
I-
thinker.
The only reason
this
I
is the whole show of doing that show is my idea. So I have to ask on tough questions.
the
Okay.
only reason I think that they wouldn't do that is because if she was ex-Hydra, she probably Hydra was Shield for a long time. So she would have had to been Shield. She would have to been Hydra Shield, fall in love with Clint, say, "Hey Clint,
Yeah.
I'm a Hydra agent, but be chill about it. Don't want to sell out all my Hydra friends." And Clint would have had to be okay with, "Okay, my wife's kind of a Nazi, I guess. That's fine."
If that
No,
theory is to be believed, I think it's more of like, yeah, fuck Hydra. I love this guy more than I love Hydra. So she just
she
left
still had
Hydra
all the secrets
and
to
got
Hydra.
married without ever telling her husband she used to be Hydra.
Like I
That's
feel
the
like
way I see it.
like if that's the case, like I can't
Shield's
trust you,
got some
Linda.
explaining to do.
I can't trust you, Linda Cardellini. I hope Kate, when she brings you that,
That's what he's going to say. I can't trust you, Linda Cardellini.
I hope when Kate brings her the Hawkeye's bow
Why
in the
can't we
last
call
episode.
it Laura, Dave? Why can't we call it Laura?
Oh, because you made a
She has
big
a
deal
name.
about looking up Eleanor's name earlier. So like now,
because you kept saying I don't remember her name. I
Yeah.
was being helpful,
that's
not
Kiwi.
combative.
Kiwi, I got into the green room and the first thing you said was, "Can't wait to fight with Dave on this one." So this you reap what you sow, ma'am.
Oh,
I like how you're still so Canadian. You had to say "ma'am" at the end as well. You just couldn't help yourself. You ended on a polite note.
my mother might watch this and she might give me a talking to. Okay.
Okay.
Now listen here.
That's a very. Have you been talking to my mother?
What? Ben, you're asking good questions. What are you asking this next question? Get us off the subject.
okay, if she was Hydra, and then a big if, it would be like a Romeo and Juliet type of thing, in a way.
Yeah, but I feel like Juliet
They're way
says.
cooler than that. They're way cooler than that.
Yeah, and also.
Oh, it would be Shakespeare's, brother Shakespeare's and rest of the story.
Sharks.
Thank you. Shakespeare's Sharks.
Wow.
You're talking about West Side
okay.
Story?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Lion King 2, but that's just my touchdown. But I feel like my only problem.
I mean, I was gonna say it, but I felt like one is enough for today.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a 1.5 is never enough.
Oh, I like 1.5.
So do
Yeah.
I. So do I. So do I. But I had to get all the.
That scene where sunrise sunset gets me every time in that
Mhm.
movie.
That's so good.
But we're here to talk Hawkeye, not Lion King. Sorry,
Oh,
Jesse.
Like to
We're
bring
not here to
back
talk about Lion King.
to
No.
to
Not
br-
today.
to bring it back to that scene where Kate brings Christmas cheer to Hawkeye and stuff. I love how they're just talking about all like there's a fun little hey, we're gonna be friends montage just so that they can really say now we're breaking up at the end.
The flick trick thing that he
Yeah.
does. Right. When he did that, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is something that Bullseye used to do.
Shut up. You are the worst.
It's a very Bullseye thing to do.
Are you now suggesting that Hawkeye's been Bullseye the whole time?
Whoa, my
reveal.
But no, my point
No.
about that was I love how quickly it goes from fun and games montage to Kate being like, best shot you ever took, and then it gets like deadly serious, being like the one I didn't take, and it's like leading into the thing I love. I love very few things so much in TV shows as someone having 17 brain cells and her figuring out that more than 17 brain cells, her being like, you're Ronan. I'm like, thank you, it's so obvious. Someone finally got it. I love figuring that out.
Oh, that would be
Yeah, see,
interesting.
I can't imagine you being part of Hydra because Shield would have figured that out. Shield
Well,
would
to be
have
fair-
been like, oh, you've got no past. We can't figure out anything about you. You're off the map. Yeah, that sounds very trustworthy. 'Cause you
Okay,
won't-
okay.
Kiwi,
wait.
you're literally saying that you can't believe the plot of Winter Soldier happened.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to get into that. I have no comment.
She's Hydra. She's Hydra.
I think
Who is Hydra?
with the fact that they kind of with
Yeah,
the fact that they don't
Hawkeye.
treat to talk about Malcolm's comment though there, the fact that they kind of don't treat Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as canon, which I love because like there's like only a handful of good episodes in that entire show. Her being revealed as like formerly being Mockingbird, I think that would be fantastic. I'm like, that's a great little twist
The
on
real
that.
Mockingbird, that is.
Well, if that happened, that would definitely.
There's only one Canadian.
No, it's funny because after
Who's Canadian? Are you Canadian, Kiwi?
No.
oh, I am.
Oh,
David.
oh.
Yeah.
It was like
I'm a founder.
what?
Hey, 50.
Well,
You made up.
it says Canadians plural. I was like, what? How many Canadians do
I know
we have?
he likes to call us Canadians now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're lumped in with them.
But lumped in, like we are the best country. Anyway, not the point of this
That's
show.
what.
Could give you a
Hockey.
run for your money.
Having universal health care.
We've got that.
Second biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. How's COVID?
Oh, so you're not
over
the best. You're the second biggest.
Are New Zealand, you talking to me about how's COVID going?
Yeah, we've got. Have you seen how very few cases? We're not doing this now, but we've got.
I mean,
very few
hey,
cases.
Well,
most
when you only
vaccinated. Who's the most vaccinated country in the world right now? Eh?
When you only have 7 people in your country, Kiwi, it's easy to get
Yeah.
all these people not having
It was a
COVID.
quick weekend, a quiet weekend. We're like, let's get together, let's all do that.
Anyway,
I wanted to say, oh yeah, if she was revealed to be Mockingbird,
yeah,
that would definitely put an end to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon because they already had a Mockingbird. So,
Yeah. and like WandaVision already kind of did that, but you had to like know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to know that because they already did the Darkhold in
Right.
that show,
Yeah.
and then they did it in WandaVision. But like that's like one of those things where maybe you didn't watch, but they almost made a whole show about Mockingbird. So it's like
Right.
if they come out and they're like Laura is Mockingbird, then it'll be fine. Then I think officially put that nail in the coffin, and I'll be fine with that.
Snarks here. Oh, cool. You've been lumped in with us now.
Perfect.
We're all Canadians. That's great. That's great.
So
That's great.
Why not? Right? We're all Canadians. Why not? Yeah.
Oh, maybe we're all Hydra. Why are you giving away our secrets on the internet? Jesus.
Yeah, Malcolm, what did we ever do to you?
Kiwi, I think you need to take him out right now. I think that's the thing.
Oh, good. We're bringing back that.
So Yelena shows up. Kate and Clint break up, which bring it all the way back to the beginning of the episode.
Was going to happen. They do it every buddy cop comedy. Let's be honest.
I love. There's 2 moments in this show from Kate I really love. First one is when she's like, well, no, like 2 ones that are real standouts that we haven't talked about yet, which is where she calls him CB1, and I'm like, wait, is she spelling Kate with a C now? And like that's how we're gonna get to CB2. But there was that.
The only one spells Kate with a C.
Yeah. And it's like, that's great. But also when she shows up to the LARPers and is like, I'm Hawkeye's partner / best friend. I'm like, these.
So good.
Haley Steinfeld is just, she's
been
so
rocking it
good.
for the past decade. Come on. We knew it was True Grit.
Since True Grit, yeah.
She's the best human in all of the Transformers movies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ben, we did this in episode 1. We're not going to go back into it, but like, let's not. Huh? What? I think we found a transformer here, guys.
Yeah, but he's taking advantage of the fact that Taco's not on screen. So
That's
we can
true.
say that.
And Kiwi wasn't here.
That's true, and I was only here 7 seconds at a time. So.
Oh yeah, I have my reasons.
Fair.
You know what will happen? Taco will get back on the stream next week, and your internet connection is gonna be shit.
I actually can't be on next week.
Oh dang it! Okay,
Oh!
that's fine.
But anyway,
Well, isn't that convenient?
very. But so we've talked a lot about everything we loved about this. Is there anything that like any issues you guys are finding with the show, or anything that you guys, other than the length 50 that you talked about? Because I think it's important to be critical of the things we like.
I'll be honest. I mean,
Please do.
the one thing I'm disappointed about, but not really surprised about, I wanted a Kingpin reveal in this one.
You can't step
Like,
on
It's
the
coming.
Yelena reveal though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But
But,
speaking of
but
that,
we've
that is
already-
one of the things I did not like about it. That you've seen my face now. Bye. It's like that
I didn't
doesn't.
understand why she showed up just to show her face and then she just
Yeah,
decided
that
to
doesn't
leave. There was no
feel like.
narrative that made her leave, and I was like, "Cool, okay, whatever."
Spoiler
Yeah, that
alert,
doesn't feel like something Yelena would do.
Spoiler alert, Kiwi. It kind of reminds me of the Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shows up at the end for no reason, and
What's
then...
the point?
no reason he kills Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, that's the point.
My name came out of nowhere. Why would he even
Okay,
do it?
like I
You know,
first of all, okay, this is not an Amazing Spider-Man 2
Is this
conversation.
true?
Yeah.
I'll never tell.
And they're both secretly Bullseye.
Oh no!
No, he's Bullseye.
I'd
I'm
rather we
Gambit.
were just saying it was all Mephisto at this point.
No, I'm Mephisto.
What if
To be honest,
Mephisto is Bullseye?
I'm Mephisto, to be honest.
Anyway,
do you know how many fingers you need to do for the M?
no,
Because you
this finger got my ring got caught in my hair, so
I
I
was
couldn't keep
wondering
going.
what you were doing. It looked like you were like doing two. I'm like, no, that's an A.
Yeah.
You're right there, Ben. There we go. Ben can do it. Come on.
Yeah.
There we go. You got in there.
Anyway,
And I'm Bullseye.
what about you, Kiwi? Is there anything that you're not that you find critical that you want to not complain about or anything, but just like any comments or critiques about the show?
No, just the Elena popping in and then having no good direction to actually leave. It just makes no sense to a character from what we've seen about her being deeply passionate and very stubborn from what she was shown in Black Widow. Even when Natasha tells her not to do things, she goes ahead and does it. So you think that just because Kate turns up, that, like, let's be honest, it's not going to stop her from achieving. At the end of the day, as far as she's aware, that man killed her sister.
Yeah.
Do you
Why
think
should
that would
anything
stop?
stop her?
Yeah, exactly. So it made no sense that she'd turn up and be like, "Okay, bye. See my face now. I gotta go."
Oh, I was gonna do this before you saw who I am. Now
Yeah. So
I'm
now
just gonna
like,
leave you for 2 more episodes.
Now, it's interesting that we are all like, why did Yelena leave? Because I think it's actually more because based on like the fight we were seeing, it seemed like her and Clint were like pretty like evenly matched. Like it's his show. I think Yelena would probably beat him in most situations. And but then so it's like I'm 50-50 with this guy and he's got a friend. Yeah, me and you 50. We're about even. But it's like she's like I'm about 50-50 with Clint and he's got his daughter / girlfriend. I don't know what she is. So it's like maybe this is not my fight. I got to go.
No, but she didn't at any point indicate that. That's fine if we're going with
that's
because
we can't.
but at least indicate
We can't.
it in a way. Where like
Kate was in the fight for a good few minutes. She could have left at any time, Yelena, that is, and she chose to leave as soon as she saw her face. Like, well, what's up with that?
Well, no, what it more was that Kate showed backup because there was a moment where Maya, Kate, and Clint were all fighting while Kate was running back up the stairs, and then she comes back with that sonic arrow to mess everyone up. And then, so I get why, because at all times Yelena was only fighting one-on-one. I think the more like why did you leave person in this conversation is Maya. Like she gets shot in the shoulder and is like, it doesn't seem to react that bad. And then it's like, oh, it's time for me to leave now. Goodbye. And Kate's got an arrow on her and just like, okay, bye. And I get that Kate's not like a killer.
They do it twice. It's not just it's Maya and Yelena. They both have really stupid exit reasons, just like the whole manufactured tension that we've done. Where if Clint was like, "This is fine, this is fine," oh, now I'm not fine with it.
Well, I get that. Like when you see, it's like I'm just going up against the tracksuits and Maya, who even when he talks to Linda Cardellini in the second episode, I think it is. It's more like, oh, these jokers, they suck. They're the worst. But then you see that a Black Widow is there. It's like, okay, now it's too dangerous for Kate. Like, these guys were not a threat. But like this woman is. And if her gun hadn't fallen down, who knows what could have happened. But again, that's another gun in the wild. But Maya, she just gets
guns everywhere in America.
Wild guns everywhere. But she gets one arrow in her. It's like, ow. And then Kate's
wake
got
up in
another
the
one
morning,
trained on her.
You see wild guns feeding from the wild guns.
And it's like, I know that Kate couldn't like yell at Maya, like, hey, stop that. Or stop running, because like what's that gonna accomplish?
I would love if she did, though. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been hilarious. And then
if she yelled at her, we were like, yeah.
As soon as she left, Haley Steinfeld definitely would have been like, oh yeah, no, obviously. Just like some like little mannerism there. But it's like shoot her in the leg, or like shoot in front of her and like stop her from leaving. Like, this is the bad guy. And you're just letting her leave?
I just thought of another thing I want to quickly talk about. I'm sorry for jumping. But the minute I see them quickly going to bed, takes out the hearing aid, and you see all these flashbacks, seeing how much he's actually messed up. And to me, that was really emotional, and it hit me really hard. And it hit anybody else hard, or am I the only one?
Yeah, it really hit me where like Hawkeye's never, even in Endgame, which I think is probably his best, Civil War is probably his best movie, but he gets like a lot more play in that. We never get to sit down and really dissect what he's feeling. And in that moment where he's getting the flashes of like how much hurt he's caused, paired with a little bit later where he's like, I wasn't a person, I was a weapon, just pointed at the right person. It's like, oh, fuck, that hits me. Man, Jeremy Renner, good actor, it turns out. Look at this guy doing acting.
I mean, okay, he came a long way from being shoot in. Forced in that first Thor movie. Remember that?
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to.
Should I do anything? No. But why did you pay me to be in this movie? Just stand there and look cool.
You need to be here so you can be the bad guy in the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I first of all, I'll defend that moment, not only because I love the first Thor movie, but also because I was sitting in a theater and right in front of me was this girl who was probably only like 8 years old. And when Hawkeye showed up, so loud, screamed, "Oh my God, it's Hawkeye! Oh my God!"
But
so
let me ask you
that moment.
But let me ask you something about that scene, because if it clearly is Hawkeye, he's getting called in as a special op agent to take out Thor before he reaches Mjolnir, and he walks up to this giant wall of weapons, and he's like, this no. Oh yeah, a bow and arrow because I'm Hawkeye. So why does he even need that 5 seconds to choose a weapon?
Because 50, it's a movie.
I know, but as a character, why would he do that?
Because you didn't know this. Clint knows that he's
Clint knows he's Hawkeye. Why does he even?
No, he knows that. He knows he's in movies. He's like, oh, this is going to play in the movie theater.
Yeah, people are watching. I gotta show that I'm at least interested in regular weapons before I choose my main one. That one never felt right.
I'll tell you why.
And you can't just bring up the excuse of, oh, it's a movie.
Okay.
Sorry, Ben.
You can. Yeah, sorry.
99% of the movie-going audience didn't know who Hawkeye was before that movie.
So what?
Also, here's what I'll say to that. We have never got a "this is how I became Hawkeye" origins story. I thought like maybe we'd get a flashback of him at a carnival or something in this. That's his origin story. He was his origin story was right. Yeah,
his origin story was like, this looks cool. I'm gonna take that to shoot this god guy, and then I'm just gonna keep using it for the rest of my life.
Well, first of all, he didn't know it was a god guy. He was just like, oh, this is a guy who it's one of those things where I don't know if you've ever you've gone into a new friend group and you do something on the first day. You do something the first day you're hanging out, and now you're like known for that thing. And it's like, oh, well, now we got to keep doing that. I think he grabbed that bow that day. And for, I guess, almost 20 years in the MCU now, he's like, fuck, I'm the arrow guy now. I could have just been gunman, but I grabbed the bow that day, and now I'm the arrow guy.
You know, it reminds me of this one scene in Arrow. Oliver and, God, what's that guy's name?
Diggle. Roy.
That's right.
Roy. In London Island, and they get in trouble. Oliver doesn't have his bow. He's a gun and he shoots people. He says, I didn't know how to use a gun.
Ben, this is why I'm sorry. I got to stop you. This is why I'm laughing. Because of Hawkeye, and I've wanted to do it for a while. I started rewatching Arrow a couple weeks ago. I literally just got to that episode today.
Whoa. Seems to be happening to you a lot lately.
I know, this is crazy.
Wibbly wobbly, tiny wimey.
I don't know. I think I might be clairvoyant.
I mean, you've seen it, so I know I'm not spoiling it.
You're not. It's great. That's crazy.
Hey, one of my favorite moments in all of Arrow. I don't know why. I didn't know how to use a gun.
It's great.
And,
anyway, we have the shortest episode of Hawkeye. We've gone for almost an hour. Does anyone have any like final thoughts or what they think's coming next week?
I'm pretty sure it was half Hawkeye, half anything else.
Schmoes of the North.
Yeah.
Play the graphic. We don't have a graphic for that.
No, we don't.
We don't have a graphic for that.
We don't have the budget for that.
We don't have.
We need to work on a graphic for that.
So, yeah, 50. Do you have any final thoughts about like what you think the next two episodes are gonna bring? Like, how are they gonna kill Hawkeye?
And when is Bullseye gonna come in?
And will Bullseye come in next?
When will?
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I think you guys are dancing around the main plot here. Bullseye's going to come in the final episode and kill Hawkeye. It's a combination of the two series.
And he's gonna kill him with his own arrow, just like he did to Elektra.
Yep.
Okay.
No, what they're going to do is they're going to bring in Yelena, they're going to have a little mini fight, and they're going to resolve it in one episode because they need the plot to move along, and it's going to be dumb because this is what they do.
And then something's going to go right through his head, and it's going to be an arrow, and she's going to look back, and she's going to see a guy in a black suit. It's going to say, Bullseye.
No, okay.
It's the title splash. Last thing we see.
I know what's going to happen.
Please.
Star-Lord is going to come in. He's going to do it dance off for no reason. And then all of a sudden, Paladin's going to show up. And he's going to beat Star-Lord doing the famous elite dance.
And then Star-Lord gets mad and punches the guy in the face right before they're about to get the glove off. All that, you know.
Yeah, and then Clara Oswald shows up because she's got to be put into every conversation now. And
man,
and then Hawkeye just regenerates and becomes Bullseye.
Rob's going to.
So everybody's theories come true.
Any final thoughts?
Not good.
No, I don't have any final thoughts either.
No,
You know?
this is I'm looking forward to them actually wrapping this series up in a nice, concise way.
And a nice bow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm sorry. Did we talk about this? Am I just seeing this now? Did 50 draw the Hawkeye symbol on his head?
Took you fucking long enough.
Did he draw a bullseye symbol on his head?
When did you do that?
When did he do that?
Like 20 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention.
Ben, did you see that?
Do you even notice me? Am I even here?
You're so far away from the camera, 50.
Also,
okay?
like, it's so, like, your hair, I feel like, was blocking it. Ben, could you just full screen it? I want to see what he looks like. It's like,
That's not how you do full screen.
look at this guy. Why did he do that?
Yeah, apparently what
Can
two
people
circles
in the
was
chat
just
let
too
us
much
know
for
if they
me.
saw it?
That was
I
two
wanna know if
circles
people
too
saw
many.
it.
Oh,
You kind of look
wow.
like the Clock King. It looks like it's 9 o'clock.
Tiffany, you're awesome, man. Oh, God.
Oh, when did he? I'm gonna have to
That
go
makes
back.
that
I'm gonna
makes
have
a
to,
bit more.
you know what, guys? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch this episode
Yeah, I mean,
and
actually,
find
too.
where he did it. But I'll do it
Anyway,
faster because 2x
Comment
speed.
is, if you were watching, if you found it in the comments,
Yeah, please
please
comment.
get on
Can
the
you just
time
give us
code
the
in the
timestamp?
comments. You have it.
Well, no, put 1 digit from the time code in there, and it'll be like a scavenger hunt where everyone has to put a different digit, and then you have to rearrange it.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna do that.
Real quick, before we sign off here, before we do the plug, where did the show land for you so far in the MCU show?
I can answer this one. WandaVision,
Okay.
Loki, Hawkeye, Falcon, the Winter Soldier.
I think it's more Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki.
You liked it that much?
See, I don't
Like
know.
what? Hawkeye or
Falcon, the Winter
Falcon?
Soldier.
I loved it.
Ah,
See,
I loved it.
I think
no.
the other 3 shows, I think if we're going, I would probably go Wanda, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Loki. But I think Hawkeye, I don't think it can go lower. I think it can only go higher because I think all 3 of those shows have ended badly. And I think if Hawkeye ends well, it can very easily become number 1.
Wait, stop.
Fight. CGI
Stop.
fight.
You thought Falcon and Winter Soldier ended badly?
Yeah, it wasn't
How?
great.
I think I think there was a lot of like this is a different conversation. Like I
Yeah.
don't want
We can have this in the green room.
Yeah, I
That's
think
actually a very fair comment, Snark. That is very accurate.
but I do now think that there is a chance that because we all believe that the last episode we'll get a Kingpin reveal. I think it's gonna
At least in the mid-credit scene.
Yeah,
At least
I
in the
think,
mid-credit scene.
you know what? I think he's coming on next episode. If I'm
I
being
don't-
honest.
Oh, there's gonna be so much going on. That's the problem. Is it's gonna be so bloated. I feel like it's gonna be a little tease for Echo that they're going to put in
Yeah.
either him arriving in the last episode or in a mid-credit scene.
I-
That's how I see it playing out.
But I think now that we got like Sharon Carter as power broker in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think we got the whole like weird sword, but like not really sword stuff. And then we didn't really get anything that jumps into this theory with Loki, but that's because it was dealing with all kinds of other stuff. I think Kingpin is going to end up being like the Thanos for the Disney Plus shows, where it's going to find out
Even
that
Loki.
No, like I think Loki is like that's out
I
there.
mean,
Where I think like
Loki-
Sharon will work for him, and then like will end up working for him, and then like the person who's trying to steal the armor in Armor Wars will be working for him,
Yeah.
and like
And that's gonna be Stingray. I'm just
let me reverse it. I think all the ground level shows, the final boss will be Kingpin because obviously like Secret Invasion and Loki and
how
What
about,
If,
WandaVision.
yeah.
How about She-Hulk? I really don't have anything to
I think
She-Hulk does make sense.
I
for
think that's
Kingpin
easy. Like
because she's a lawyer, and who else do we know who is also a lawyer who is
Yeah.
associated with Kingpin?
By
I
the
think-
way, I think we have to move this up real quick. What Kevin Feige confirmed it this week. It was pretty big news.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was deliberately vague about it, though.
No, he said if we're gonna use Daredevil, it will be Charlie Cox, and I think that's him getting out in front of the fact that one is going to spoil the other. Because like if we see Spider-Man No Way Home and Charlie Cox is in it, then it's like okay, so it's definitely Kingpin. But if you see Hawkeye first and you see Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, then you're like okay, so Charlie Cox is definitely in the other one. So I think he's just like saying our movies and shows aren't spoiling anything. I am vaguely spoiling it,
Yeah.
so you are not aware.
What we always agree.
He's a marketing genius. He knows how to say things without actually saying things.
Yeah.
But we're
Four.
all in agreement here. There's a chance, big or small, Daredevil will be in No Way Home.
No, I don't think he'll be. I don't think Kingpin will be in No Way Home now.
No,
Oh gosh,
Daredevil.
could you imagine?
Oh,
Daredevil.
Daredevil. Sorry. I think as Matt Murdock, not as Daredevil.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
I'll agree to that.
Yeah. But we've gone for over an hour on the shortest episode of Hawkeye. So Ben, where can the people find you?
Oh, you're starting with me first. Okay.
Why not? No one ever starts with you first.
Yeah,
You always ask people for
know.
their plugs.
I
All
know.
right, and thank you. You can find me right here on Explore Someone Knows YouTube channel on Mount Slowdown. We have a very exciting episode this Saturday. We're talking all about Spectacular. And special guest note, Kevin, the Smasher Smith, is coming on. That's going to be fun as hell.
Mhm.
And get ready with 50 and Soda. Shooting the breeze with Soda and Kiwi.
So we're taking a
And-
break this week.
Yes, we're taking a break. And what else? Recapping Space Time with Kiwi and 50. I think
And
that's
Soda.
everything. And Soda. I think that's everything, right? Me?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
If
well,
there's a video on this channel, he'll probably be on it.
Yeah, there's more
Like-
in the works, but I really can't say anything yet. Hopefully.
50. What about you?
You can find me making incredibly bad bullseye symbols on my forehead, and you can also find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek, also on Twitch, 50 Shades of Geek. On this very channel, on a lot of the shows, it's particularly gets ready, like Ben said. Hopefully, recapping the greatest show in the galaxy, and all the other random shows on this channel. You can also find my Patreon, patreon.com/Pokemon Star Cross and Crescent, where I design a Pokemon game based on Israel.
Next week, let's all try moratorium on Bullseye. Let's just
Okay.
try.
Yeah.
I won't be here to enforce it, but let's just
Oh,
try
I can.
next week. Okay,
I
Kiwi.
can.
Yeah, Kiwi, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kiwi_Jess_. You'll also find me probably on one of the shows on this channel, especially the ones that we mentioned. But also next week, next Thursday, the 16th of December, we'll be doing the all-night taco stand. So this will be our 4th iteration of it. So there'll be plenty of guests, plenty of chaos, probably some people from on here and the rest of the channels. So that's going to be great. So yeah, you can find me on there most of the night.
I'm going 4 for 4 with the taco stand because I will not be there.
Oh mate, come on!
Aw.
Are you ever going to put me on it?
But when he earns
I
it,
feel like
yes.
at this point he's wow. You hear that? You hear that,
Ooh.
Taco? You need to earn
Shots
it.
fired, man.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, like Ben.
You didn't say
Ben
your
said.
plug.
Yeah,
I don't really have plugs. I'm on this show. Follow me on Twitter. Leave me alone if you want, but it's a bad follow. Follow me on Instagram at BabyJamesLees if you want, but who the hell cares about that? Bye. Have a hot,
Bye,
full day.
everyone. See you next
Bye.
week.